Alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You're welcome to another episode of the Everyday Muslim Show. It's been a hectic week and we had long days of work during the last week as we were preparing towards the Peace and Unity Convention. And Alhamdulillah, Saturday, Sunday, just some days ago, we've been in the venue having the shuyukh from all parts of the world, coming to Nigeria, delivering lectures, and it's been great. It's been awesome. I honestly didn't get to sit for even up to 10 minutes to listen to any of them speak. I was busy as a volunteer of the media and publicity team, trying to make sure that the social media engagements are up and running, the contents are coming, the live stream is, there for everybody and everyone across the world to be a part of. And Alhamdulillah, a great team, it was a great team of people, of volunteers, and we were able to, Alhamdulillah, achieve what we planned for. I was speaking as a volunteer because actually I am a volunteer of One Ummah Media and Publicity Unit. But then let's come back to iMedia now, as I'm also a content creator in iMedia. So being a content creator, I didn't get the chance at all to create any content while I was there. Yes, I did had some interviews with one of my favorites. I kept looking forward to having him in Nigeria, person of Sheikh Walid Basyuni. Alhamdulillah, awesome man. I don't know if you all observed, but whenever he speaks, at some point he closes his eyes. I don't know if you can see my own eyes right now through my glasses, but whenever Sheikh Walid Basyuni speaks, you just see him closing his eyes, speaking with emotion. And I was just so happy having him, by my side, and having discussions with him, throwing questions at him, trying to crack some jokes with him, getting him to laugh and smile at me. It was awesome. I felt so happy meeting him in person. Alhamdulillah, I also got the chance and opportunity to interact with Sheikh Abdul Fattah Adeyemi. We went through family dynamics, parenting, divorce, and all of that. Even if I'm not married, I still had to ask. We need to learn. And the highlight of the whole event for me, to be honest, out of the 48 hours spent at the Peace and Unity Convention, one of it, the only time I got to be in the hall was on Sunday evening as I was preparing some documents to be presented for the Pitch to Win initiative, as I'm also part of the organizing committee and my boss was supposed to present, So that was when I was in the hall for at least 30 minutes, checking hall, and guess what happened in the hall? Basmad, alhamdulillah, was on stage and he did his thing, he got everybody to be Quranly, and he got the whole hall shaking, he got the whole family smiling, he got the brothers engaged with their brains, bringing verses from their mind. And one of the mind-boggling things that happened during Basmad's session was when someone made a mistake. So Basmad told them to bring verses that starts with Qul. He started with starting the verse that starts with Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, like that, You need to watch that video. Basmad, make sure you give us that video as soon as possible. So he started with verses like, it's verses that start with Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha. So when he says something like Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, someone else would say something like, what verse? I'm not an Hafiz, but what verse? If I remember, I would try, but so, somebody would bring up a verse until, wasabikun, asabikun, or something like that. Just keep bringing verses with that flows with alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha. So he did that. At some point, they were just ties upon ties. Nobody was giving up. Nobody was losing. Then he went to, bringing verses that starts with, I think, Musa, or that has Musa in it, and then see the brothers shaking the audience with verses that has Musa in it, or that has Musa in it, And then some people got disqualified, I'm saying this part so long because I really enjoyed it. I so enjoyed it, and I hope, let me hear your comments. I don't know if you attended the event, what part of it did you enjoy? So back to Basmad, he then left the Musa part and then went to his verses that starts with Qul. And this was where Basmad blew my mind. Somebody made a mistake somewhere and he quoted the correct verse, and I'm like, Ya Allah, make me amongst the memorizers of the Quran. I was so happy. And then the audience were so mesmerized by all of these things. They started giving away cash. Somebody got 50,000 naira, somebody got 150,000 naira, somebody got 100,000 naira. They just kept giving away cashes. A sister, after getting disqualified, I don't know if she fainted or not, or she fell down to start crying, but it was shaking. She fell to her face, and she's not a loser. Please, sister, if you get to watch this, you're not a loser. It's just upon us to go back to do our muraja, to revise the Quran. So Basmat session was one of the highlights I got personally. Like I said, I didn't get the chance to even sit in any of the halls. I was in the studio, from the studio to trying to get one of the shuyukh to come into the studio, to preparing a document, to just making sure everything is running. Big shout out to every single unit of the One Ummah Peace and Unity Convention. The ticketing, I observed something great. So that's a very big sacrifice. Just imagine this. You follow a group of people to a gathering, but you are kept outside. You're not a security. You're not a security personnel. You're not securing anybody. But you are kept outside. And you're outside throughout. So I saw them attending to people throughout the day. They didn't get the chance to listen to lectures. They didn't get the chance to even see some of the shuyukh. They were just there all through, The volunteers of One Ummah are exceptional. I ask Allah to reward every single one of them abundantly. So let me now go into a bit of the things I heard, some of the lectures that were delivered. Someone like Sheikh Wa'il Ibrahim, he shared his story, how he was, he couldn't walk for almost a year. He couldn't walk for almost a year. And at that time in his life, he just felt like, Ya Allah, why me? I think he wrote a book on it. I heard him saying something about it. Like I told you, I didn't get a chance to sit, so I didn't even listen. I didn't take notes. If there's something I love to do when I'm in lectures, I love to take notes, So I didn't get to listen. I didn't get to, take note of anything, basically. But he told and shared with the audience how he, was crippled for a year. Some of his bones and his spinal cord. And people kept wondering, did you have was it an accident or what? And then he told us in the studio that it wasn't an accident. He was just in the sink trying to wash his hand or wash his leg, and then he slipped and fell. And he said some disc in his spinal cord just pulled out. SubhanAllah, with so much pain and going through a whole lot, he could barely endure. He was crying day in and day out, and he shared a very, very, very touching story that whenever he cries, his wife will come to him and say, "Please don't cry, let the neighbors not hear you." So he said one day he called her, and then he grabbed her hand and pressed her hand so hard that she yelled, she shouted, she screamed, and then he told her, "Don't shout, don't shout. The neighbors will hear you." So she felt the pain and she shouted, and he could not hold the pain. People would say, he's a sheikh, he has this, he has that, he should know that Allah is with him. But there are times of tests and trials that when you experience them, when you go through them, if you are not careful, trust me brother, trust me sister, you would almost want to lose your faith. But then that is where resilience comes in. That is where you need to now rely on Allah. That is where you have to show that your faith in Allah is there. And mashallah, that was for Wa'il Ibrahim, one of the things I got from him. Someone like Sheikh Walid Basuni, I personally interviewed him in the studio, and I got a whole lot from him. He told us what Iman is, how Iman is what links and makes your tawakkul strong. When you have that belief in Allah, when you trust in Allah, when you believe in Allah, your belief in Allah is solid, it then pushes you to have tawakkul in Allah. And I remember a very sweet hadith of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he said, "Law annakum tatawakkaluna ala Allah haqqa tawakkulihi larzaqakum kama yarzuqu tayra taghdu khimasa wa taruhu bitanan." That law annakum tatawakkaluna ala Allah, whoever, if you rely on Allah haqqa tawakkulihi, the right way he should be relied on, he would provide for you just as he provides for a bird, تغدو خماسا وتروح بطانا, that leaves his house or his place of abode with an empty stomach but comes back with a filled stomach. Subhanallah. This is Allah for me and you. So Sheikh Walid Basuni, he took us to a tree. It took me And I'm sure the people who were watching live, through a drive of how Iman push it, help build your tawakkul, and how Iman and tawakkul now makes you have resilience when you go through hardship, when you go through crisis, when you go through difficulties. You just, Iman you have, you believe in Allah, the faith you have in Allah, and then the tawakkul you have on Allah, the reliance you have on Allah will just make you stay firm. I don't have money, no problem. And I'll tell you a funny story. So, personally, like this is about me, some days ago, you know, everything has just been happening fast. Like I said, this is an everyday Muslim show. So inshallah, I look forward to growing this show to one that we can interact with other Muslims to hear their side of their stories. Inshallah, I am also thinking and I'm also planning and I'm also going to do this, that I get people who attended the Peace and Unity Convention to share their part of their highlights of the Peace and Unity Convention. I hope Basmad is still around. I'm also going to get Basmad to do something for to share what he has why has he attended the Peace and Unity Convention. So back to the story. I at some point I got into a bit of difficulty. I had no money, and I just felt like, Allah will provide. I will like kill myself. I kept telling my siblings, I don't have money. Allah will provide. I won't die. I won't kill myself. I won't beg anyone. I won't do anything. I'll just keep praying to Allah. And trust me, I was wondering, I need to get this thing. I need to get this thing. PUC is coming, this and that. My brother and my sister, I just left everything to Allah. And trust me, dua, istighfar, and dhikr. I just held on to those things, and alhamdulillah, the PUC has. They say it came. I mean, how did I say that word? We've seen, we've saw, and we conquered. So I saw it, and alhamdulillah, I conquered it. We all did. Jazakumullah khairan to you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you all next year, inshallah. Among the things, as I'm wrapping up this video, among the things I learned through the Peace and Unity Convention, I really didn't implement them, I won't lie. So I'll just say it. Hopefully, inshallah, as I say it to you all, I would implement it, and then it will be a reminder to you all. One of the things I learned was teamwork, and alhamdulillah, I really did implemented this. As I still said, I'm a volunteer with One Ummah, but I'm a content creator in iMedia. So yeah, I was working full time, delivering all I need to deliver and all that. And then we had a team, of course, wonderful team. I sincerely appreciate all teams, all units of the media of One Ummah in general. But my team, which I'm in, I can only speak for them best because I'm part of them. We are together, we are one, and we live as family, trust me. As one big family, I don't want to start mentioning names, but trust me, it was nice working with every single person towards delivering the deliverables of the Peace and Unity Convention. It was interactive. If you go on our social media page from 25,000 followers on I'm not going anywhere today. I will be in my house. I'm not going anywhere. I'm tired. I'm not going to even edit this part of the video because trust me, every day is work day for me, from Monday to Sunday, from Sunday to Monday. Alhamdulillah. So for the members of the publicity team, it was a wonderful work they did there, throwing content back to back. The graphic designers were graphic designing, the photographers were photographing, the videographers were videographing, the content creators were content creating, and me, the waka up and down was wakaing, and everything just made so much sense. Big shout out to every single one of you. Big shout out to the executives of One Ummah. Big shout out to the unit head. Big shout out to the volunteers of every unit. A big shout out to the participants that took their money in these trying times, in this hard condition we find ourselves. But we should all know that in the ma'al usri yusra, after hardship comes ease. A big shout out to you all, and a special jazakumullah khairan to our shuyukh who took their time, to travel out. I heard one of the shuyukh travel for 20 hours. He was on air for 20 hours. You can imagine what that means, coming down to Nigeria, going to Lagos, coming back to Abuja, heading back for another 20 hours trip to his home. It is his home town or something. It's just, mashallah, it's amazing. So jazakumullah khairan to every single one of you. As I work towards wrapping up this video, expect more content from us. We'll get you highlights from the event. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.